Hey guys, it's Joe again. We're here to do another video tutorial for you today, and today we're going to talk about the QuickReport feature in a daily. It's a super useful little tool that we created for rental companies to be able to see what items are going out on any specific day, and then give you some additional tools for your team to get those items ready to go out for rental, to communicate back and forth with each other regarding the statuses of those rental items. And just to make things a little bit easier, especially in the warehouse as you're trying to get these items ready to go out on rent. So to access this report, you're going to log into your Adaily account. And the third link down is called the QuickReport. So you just click on it. And what you're going to see is a calendar view of the current default month. And you can select any month you want. You can look at this month, you can look at next month, you can look 4 months in advance, whatever you want to do. You can. The nice thing about it is that you can anticipate what's coming up in the future by viewing those months, right? So if you're curious if you have, let's say you're a tent rental company and you have a bunch of tents going out on a specific weekend coming up in July, you can look at July and ahead of time and see what's going on so that you can kind of plan your incoming orders off of what you already have. So it is a little bit nice in that regard. But anyways, that's how you access different months. You can go back and go forward. You can look at this month. And then it will list any day that you have rentals going out. It's going to default to all categories and all inventory. And on any days that you have rentals going out, you're going to have a list of invoices on that day. So if it's a longer list, you can scroll through it and view the different orders that are on that day. And then each of these orders will have a status color associated with them. So if it says in progress, that means that we haven't finished gathering and preparing the items for that day for all the orders. Each order will have its own color code as well. If it's green, that means you've finished prepping the items for that order. And if it's yellow, that means you're not quite finished yet. And so you can just quickly see at a glance how your day is going so far in terms of preparing those items for delivery. We also have some other flags or color indicators that we can talk about here. If something has been flagged, for example, and I'll get to this later, we'll show you how you flag something, but if a particular item was flagged for any reason, let's say it was damaged or for some reason you can't find it in your inventory or there was some type of issue with anything on that order, you can flag it and it will highlight it here on the day so that you can see at a glance where you have problem areas. And then the last little color indicator here is when all of your items are ready to go for any given day. You're going to get a green status bar up at the top and it'll say all items are ready. So how do we get these days ready? How do we get a green bar? How do we get a red bar? And how do we deal with these? Well, before we get there, actually, I want to show you how you can filter for different types of rentals that are going out, which is kind of cool. So let's say you want to see all of the days that you have linens going out. You can select the linen category and it's going to eliminate any orders that don't have linens on them. So then you can just see, okay, these are all my orders that have linens, or these are all my orders that have tents, and just focus on specific categories of rental items, which is really cool. It's nice to be able to, maybe you'll have your departments broken down into different sections. You have a linen department or a catering department or a tent department, and then those different departments can just view what they're responsible for and get those items ready, which is really nice. You can also, in addition to categories, you can filter by any given inventory type. So let's say you specifically want to see when you have 20 by 20 frame tents going out, you can select that particular item and it'll show you any day that you have that item going out for any order. So pretty cool, some things that you can do here just to give you an idea of what's going on in your company. So let's take a look at one of these days. Let's go into this flagged issue and see what's going on here. So if I click into that, it's going to pull up an overview of that day. I can view per invoice by invoice or by inventory. So I'll keep the invoice selected and I have one invoice for this day and it looks like there's something that has been flagged. It was my oval hammered copper Schaefer dish, and someone just put in here something happened, or they could have put, the lid was bent or whatever the case was, or I couldn't find it, some type of flag. So then that notifies the person who's in charge of taking care of this, or maybe it's going to remind them later to go back in and fix this problem. Either they need to repair the item or buy a new one. Whatever the case may be, they just need to fix it and then remove the flag once it's been taken care of. Now over here we have some additional pieces of information. So you'll have the amount that you should have available in the warehouse right here. A little flag telling you what should be in the warehouse. And then over here you have a field where you can enter a number. And this is where you'll indicate how many you have prepared and gotten ready to go out. So once you've gone out and verified that you can find this supposed inventory item that was available, you need to pull it from the shelf and then prepare it or box it up or get it ready to rent. And once it is, then you can update this number to 1 and it completes the item, for lack of a better word. And then once all of your items are complete for any given day, then you'll see that the invoice has turned green. It is saying that I have an overbooked item. That's just because I don't have any stock info associated with this bundle item here. But since I've completed all of the items on this day, when I go back to the calendar day, you'll see that it has turned green now. And I can just start working on any of these days. I can pull up this one, have one invoice there. I could go through and start preparing all of these items, or I could go to this day and it looks like I have two invoices that are still outstanding. So I could go through these and make sure I've got these 120-inch round poly linens, 20 of the 60-inch round tables, and the 200 white resin chairs. So once I've prepared them, I'll just go through these one by one and complete them. And now anyone on your team at any given time can log into this QuickReport, access it, and know what the status is on all of these. I'm gonna go ahead and complete this day. Everything on here is now done, and the 5th is all ready to go. And now, if someone were to go in and add an invoice for the 5th, instead of the next time I log in, this wouldn't say all items are ready. It would actually show the new invoice down here that it's incomplete, and you'd have to go in and complete that order. So it's always being updated in real time as invoices are changing or as they're being added. So that's about all I'd like to go over today. But if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. Hopefully this is a useful tool for you guys as you're preparing your rental items to go out on rent. Talk to you next time.